September 19, 1944. Fog cloaked the fields near Aricourt, France. First Lieutenant Merwin, men of the 37th Tank Battalion, gripped the turret rim of his M4 Sherman, his breath misting. In the damp chill, his gunner Corporal James Harris scanned the mist through the periscope searching for German Panther tanks. Their sloped armor nearly impervious to standard American shells. 6 M93 high-velocity armor-piercing rounds sat in their ammunition rack, each with a tungsten carbide core. These rounds could transform their medium Sherman into a threat German tankers would dread, not just for penetrating power, but for the psychological shock shattering the myth of Panther invulnerability. The story of how specialized ammunition altered armored warfare begins not in Lorraine's muddy fields, but in American laboratories, testing grounds and factories where engineers and metallurgists raced to solve a crisis threatening armored operations. In early 1944, the U.S. Army faced a dire problem. The M4 Sherman backbone of armored divisions was outmatched by Germany's Panther. Tank, officially Panzerkampfwagen V, with an 80mm glacis plate sloped at 55 degrees, creating an effective 140 thickness. The Sherman's 75mm F3 gun couldn't penetrate this frontal armor at any range. Its M72 rounds bounced off, leaving crews exposed to the Panthers. His 75mm UK 42 gun lethal at 2,000 meters even. The 76mm M1 gun, introduced in July 1944, struggled. Its M62 armor-piercing capped round penetrated 109mm at 1,000 meters, sufficient for Panzer IVs and assault guns, but not Panthers, except at ranges under 100 meters where the Panthers' firepower made engagement. Suicidal American intelligence misjudged Panther numbers by June 1944. During the Normandy invasion, 38% of German tanks in the theater were Panthers, not the expected handful but hundreds, often crewed by inexperienced soldiers yet protected by formidable armor. Sherman crews learned to aim for the Panthers' gun mantle at 100 to 120 mm thick or maneuver for flank shots. Both tactics risky, requiring close range or exposing their own 50mm side armor. The issue was ammunition, not just the gun. American commanders hesitated to deploy 76mm Shermans for D-Day, June 6, 1944. Despite 130 M4A1 76 tanks arriving in Britain by April 10th. Crews lacked training on the new gun logistics, dreaded managing two ammunition types, and planners believed the 75mm inadequate, a catastrophic error by July. Normandy reports confirmed the 75mm gun's failure. General Dwight Eisenhower expressed frustration. "You mean our 76 won't knock these Panthers out? I thought it was the Wonder Gun." His anger reflected ordnance assurances that the 76mm would handle German armor. A July 12th board confirmed standard weapons couldn't defeat Panthers frontally. General Omar Bradley ordered 76mm Shermans to the front by July 25th. 102 debuted in Operation Cobra, but M62 rounds still struggled. The solution was the M93 HVDP round, developed as T4 by July 1944. It featured a tungsten carbide core, one of the hardest materials, encased in a lightweight aluminum body with a ballistic windshield, concentrating kinetic energy into a small, dense penetrator. The M93 achieved 1036 meters per second muzzle velocity versus 792, for the M62 boosting penetration to 160 mm at 1,000 meters, enough to pierce the Panther's mantlet on early AOSFD, and a variant's 100 meter later, 120 meter on AOSFG models. This made the mantlet a viable target. At combat ranges up to 1,000 meters, a vast improvement over point-blank requirements. Tungsten was the bottleneck. China supplied 36% of global tungsten in 1944, producing 1,000 metric tons, but U.S. demand for tools, armor, and ammunition consumed vast quantities. Each HVAP round used 0.8 kg. 6 rounds per tank required nearly 5 kilos. A Sherman company with 17 tanks needed 85 kg for one loadout. Production was limited. July 1944 saw 1,076 mm rounds August, another 1,000 November, reached 5,000 by March 1945, 33,000 rounds. Were produced still insufficient, the average Sherman carried 5 HVAP rounds against Panzer divisions with 30 or more Panthers. Germany faced worse shortages, relying on dwindling Swedish imports by 1945. They prioritized machine tools for aircraft, leaving Panther crews with standard ammunition. American industry outpaced Germany's, turning metallurgical innovation into battlefield impact factories like Chrysler Arsenal in Detroit. Retooled for HVAP assembly lines, ran 24 hours. Workers like Mary Sullivan ensured quality control checking rounds for defects. "A bad round could kill our boys," she recalled. "I made sure everyone was perfect." HVAP rounds reached Europe in August 1944, but Normandy's hedgerows favored German ambushes. Panther crews used hull-down positions, exposing only turrets. Sherman crews nicknamed their tanks Ronson lighters, believing they burned easily. Post-war analysis debunked this, but the perception drove caution. Crews avoided direct engagement, calling artillery or air support seating initiative to Germans. The first major HVAP test came in Lorraine's open terrain, September 1944. Lieutenant General George Patton's Third Army seized a Moselle River bridgehead near Aricourt, German High Command. Saw the threat: if Patton's armor crossed the Rhine, the Reich's industrial heart was exposed. General Hasso von Manteuffel's 5th Panzer Army counterattacked with the 111th and 113th Panzer Brigades, fielding 150 tanks, including 42 Panthers and 40 Panzer IVs against the 4th Armored Divisions. 50 Sherman's Germans expected victory, relying on Panther superiority. They miscalculated. The Battle of Aricourt, September 18 to 29, 1944, became the largest American tank engagement until the Bulge, proving Shermans with HVAP could defeat superior armor through tactics and coordination. Captain Kenneth Lamison C. Company. 37th Tank Battalion held defensive positions south of Aricourt. Each tank carried 6 HVAP rounds, briefed to target Panther mantlets at close range on September 19th. Fog limited German reconnaissance. The 113th Panzer Brigade advanced in column formation, a tactical error. At 8 a.m., a Panther emerged at 75 meters. Corporal Harris fired an HVAP round, piercing the mantlet. Detonating ammunition inside the turret lifted in a fiery explosion. 2 more Panthers appeared, both destroyed in seconds. German crews retreated, shocked by losses. Private First Class Robert Ellis, a loader, recalled, "We heard tracks clanking. Knew it was a Panther. Captain said, 'Hold till they're closed, then hit the mantlet.' That HVAP round blew it apart. We felt we could fight back." Similar engagements unfolded all morning. American crews used fog to engage at ranges, maximizing HVAP effectiveness. German tactics exposed side armor to flanking fire. M18 Hellcat tank destroyers, also HVAP-equipped, struck at close range by noon. Fog lifted P-47 Thunderbolts of the 405th Fighter Group, hit German armor with rockets and guns. American combined arms overwhelmed German technical advantages. Shermans coordinated with infantry, artillery, and air support. German tanks lacked infantry air cover or artillery advancing piecemeal. FAP rounds made Sherman's credible threats, penetrating mantlets at 1,000 meters. Panther crews trained to trust frontal armor were stunned. Lieutenant Hans Weber of the 113th Panzer Brigade survived an HVAP hit. "We were told Shermans couldn't hurt us frontally. Then a round punched through my mantlet, killed my gunner. I bailed out in shock." German reports claimed new American weapons. Some mistook HVAP for 90 mm guns. The truth was worse. American industry produced ammunition, negating Panther advantages by September 22. The German offensive stalled. Americans destroyed 86 German tanks, losing 25 Shermans and 7 tank destroyers, a 3-to-1 kill ratio. The 113th Panzer Brigade was reduced to under 20 vehicles. German reports cited inexperienced crews, but HVAP penetrations revealed tungsten core ammunition. Germany developed Panzer Granate 40 rounds, but tungsten shortages limited production. American industry, though constrained, produced enough HVAP to impact battles, a testament to superior resources. HVAP's psychological impact was profound. American tankers gained confidence. Ellis said after Aracourt, "We didn't feel helpless. We could take a Panther out if we got a clean shot." German crews lost faith in invulnerability. Weber wrote, "The men are nervous now. We can't trust our armor." Caution slowed German advances. This shift was critical in the Battle of the Bulge, December 1944, where hundreds of Panthers and Tigers faced Shermans in winter conditions. HVAP shortages forced reliance on bazookas, artillery, and air support. When weather cleared, American tactics prevailed. Sergeant Michael Torres recalled, "We had 2 HVAP rounds, faced a Panther at 600 yards, hit the mantelet, and it brewed up without that round. We can have been dead." HVAP had limitations. Its tungsten core could shatter below 2,300 feet per second, reducing effectiveness beyond 1,000 meters. Sergeant Francis Baker, November 20, 1944, fired 7 HVAP rounds at a Panther at 800 yards, hitting side armor without penetration. Proper tactics and shot placement were critical. Post-war analysis confirmed HVAP's effectiveness against Panther mantlets, causing catastrophic explosions, but it rarely penetrated the sloped glacis plate Sherman's needed flanking maneuvers. The Korean War, 1950, saw HVAP excel against T-34, 85 tanks with weaker 90. Turret armor and ample tungsten supply. German veterans respected American HVAP production. Their own shortages. Limited Panzer Granate 40. U.S. Aracourt's significance went beyond tactics. It proved American doctrine, mobility, logistics, and combined arms could defeat superior tanks. Lieutenant Colonel Creighton Abrams, 37th Tank Battalion Commander, applied these lessons to the M1 Abrams tank. German Bundeswehr veterans shaped Leopard tank doctrine, emphasizing ammunition and training. HVAP's legacy persists in modern tank rounds using tungsten or depleted uranium. September 19, 1944 marked a turning point. HVAP gave Sherman crews a chance against Panthers, boosting morale and enabling aggressive tactics. German crews faced new vulnerabilities: American industry's ability to produce HVAP. Despite tungsten scarcity, outmatched Germany's proving innovation and manufacturing could overcome technical disadvantages, a lesson vital for modern warfare.